Welcome to Crunch Time, milestones and mayhem and history. Alright, it's Crunch Time for May the 8th. On this day in 2004, Kiss kicked off their Rock the Nation tour at Western Australia's home of cricket, the Waka Ground in Perth. Following the previous year's co-headlining tour with Aerosmith, Eric Singer once again returned to don the Catman makeup with Tommy Thayer, continuing in the role as Spaceman. As far as Peter Criss was concerned, no one in the band had called him with plans to continue following the expiration of his touring contract. Rumors soon started circulating that he was being replaced, and Peter made a post on his website explaining his perspective of the situation. Paul soon called him to confirm that Kiss were continuing without him. Peter told Eddie Trunk,
"Finish the tour, go home. The holidays came. We actually finished the last show on my birthday, December 20th, which was really a gas. It was a great way to finish a tour, especially with the great Aerosmith. I was really honored to be on a stage with such Hall of Famers. Man, talk about greatness. It was really cool. But the tour ended, to get back to it, and I got home. Time went on. My attorney tried to reach them. No one got back to him. The word I'm hearing on the street that people keep they were trying to get in touch with me. Well, they had my phone number. It seemed like the phone never rang. I was kind of hoping it would. It didn't ring. Time went by again. All of a sudden, the day finally came where the contract ran out, where there was now no more contract, no extension, maybe anything, nothing. And so I posted on my site what I posted on my site, which I can't. Right now, I guess I can't remember word for word verbatim, but it was kind of, no one called me, no one got in touch with me, and I was sure, get right to it. I got a call from Paul the following day after I posted what I had to post on my site, because I was flooded by a ton of people, and how you doing? And it got to be that they wanted to start a new Kiss, and I'm like, well, what do you mean new Kiss? And well, there's a new Kiss, and it really got down that he almost said I was too old to cut it. I couldn't play 2 hours anymore. They felt that their camp wanted some younger blood, that they wanted to do new stuff. Between you and me, a bunch of bunk. I didn't buy it for one instant. I'm listening to this, that I'm too old, I can't play this anymore. I was complaining. If I complained about anything, I complain about a lot of things, and I have a reason to complain about anything I complain about. You know me too well. I don't just complain about everything. But the idea, the audacity to tell me that I, a founding member of a band that would not be here today, there is no old Kiss. There's only one Kiss, and that's Peter, Paul, Ace, and Gene.
The justification was supposedly down to Gene and Paul wanting younger blood and to expand the catalog being performed. It was an ugly end to his third tenure with the group. Gene told the St. Louis Post-Dispatch in June 2004. The truth is, Peter and Ace are sweethearts who help make the band what it is, but not everybody should be on the road. The road is not kind to everybody. The band right now is what it always should have been. I can't say the original lineup always delivered. With Ace and Peter, we never did Unholy, War Machine, God Gave Rock and Roll to You, a lot of stuff, because they didn't have the musical muscle to do it. He echoed that sentiment in an interview with NRK, almost suggesting a relief at being free to perform additional material.
We're going out on tour again, and we'll be playing some obscure songs finally. Maybe Parasite and Unholy and God Gave Rock and Roll to You. We'll play some other stuff.
And Paul's perspective, from a sequential compilation of quotes from his Face the Music audiobook, makes his opinion abundantly clear.
Under other circumstances, both Ace and Peter would have been out for the 2003 tour. But for whatever reason, the Aerosmith camp wanted at least 3 original members involved. By this point, Ace had already made it clear he was done, which left Peter as the 3rd member. Ugh. There were contracts to be signed by Peter, Gene, Tommy, and me. Of course, the 4 of us discussed it, and the members of the band were spelled out. After the Jamaica gig, it was a given that Tommy would wind up in the band. It was a logical progression, so much so that we never even spoke about it. As we started out on our co-headlining tour with Aerosmith, however, I have to say that Tommy and Peter didn't feel like the secret formula to me. It still felt transitional, It felt like the wound was only partly healed. Certainly we had somebody who wanted to be there, who knew the songs, who could play them consistently night after night. And I didn't wake up every morning wondering how the day would go and how the show would go. 50% of the uncertainty and chaos had been eliminated. Peter, on the other hand, was up to his same old tricks. He complained incessantly about being disrespected by hotel staff. He bitched about the smoke from the pyrotechnics. The hotel guidebook was back too, along with complaints that his room was too dark or it was too far down the hall, the shows were too long, his hands hurt, on and on. Meanwhile, Peter had his attorney trying to negotiate a contract extension during the tour. His demands, as usual, were absurd. I think they figured we would cave because Ace wasn't around anymore. Who knows what they were thinking? I knew by then that Kiss was bigger than any of the individuals. Strangely, the longer the negotiating went on, the more Peter and his attorney seemed to think they had us over a barrel. We went along with it. When the tour was over and Peter's contract expired, I told him we had decided not to renew his contract. You're not happy. You say the shows are too long. Your hands hurt. You want to play other kinds of music. We want to continue. I think it's best for everyone if we just call it quits, Peter. It's time for us all to move on. I didn't have much to say beyond that. It wasn't that we were just going to become a different Kiss or a new Kiss. We were going to become a better Kiss.
There was initially surprise that Eric would rejoin, with him having previously suggested that he wouldn't be interested unless Ace was also involved. It was a simple matter in the end. He changed his mind and didn't have an issue with Tommy. He looked forward to playing the songs he'd performed with Kiss during his original tenure and honoring those originally played by Peter and Eric Carr. It was a job and he was a working musician and is called the music business for a reason. For many fans, the drama simply didn't matter. Songs such as Creatures of the Night, I Love It Loud, Tears Are Falling, War Machine, Lick It Up, Unholy, and God Gave Rock and Roll to You returned to the set. The optics were clearly shifting away from the originals to a made-up incarnation of the group celebrating the band's whole history and complete discography. For better or worse, and opinions do vary widely, the concert in Perth was the first show of Kiss's longest-lasting stable lineup, which would continue until the group's final touring showstop at Madison Square Garden in New York City in December 2023. Most surprising for the first three shows was the inclusion of I Pledge Allegiance to the State of Rock and Roll in the set. Between that and the in-your-face theater shows that the group were performing separately, a new Kiss was hitting the ground with a determination to answer fan demands for the obscurities and gems from their vast back catalog of music.